Hello, this is Brighton TV and this is the match preview for Brighton vs Burnley. And what a game against Liverpool. We ended up getting a win at Anfield, and when you look at the last 4 days, we went from beating Spurs to beating Liverpool. Potter's ended up making it so then defensively we're extremely solid while still keeping our great attacking play. And when you look at the lineup that we played, I was really surprised to see Burn on the left wing back and Solly March on the right. And I thought, why has Potter done that? But when you just look at the game, Potter made it so then Burn, he's an aerial outlet and he was winning everything in the air. He was something that Liverpool couldn't cope with. If we needed to go long, we'd go long to the left-hand side. Burn would win the header, and then it's up to our players to win the second ball, and our players would win the second ball. The players really wanted it, and when you look at attacking-wise, we'd always attack in numbers, and we could have had more than the one we had. We ended up missing a couple of chances other than the goal we scored, but to end up getting a result at Anfield, huge. And I saw a lot of Liverpool fans saying that we parked the bus, but we didn't park the bus. We were constantly attacking. We limited them so much. They only had one shot on target, Liverpool, compared to our 4. We were creating better chances than them. Liverpool, what they were doing, they reminded me of us last season where we'd go and pass it round the back but creating nothing at all. That's what Liverpool were doing. They weren't doing anything with the ball, and we were restricting them so well, pressing well, and when we did win the ball back, we'd go and attack in numbers. And Dunk, what a captain, what a leader. He's ended up changing us defensively so much where in recent weeks it looks like he's got a lot louder with the back three and it looks a lot more solid. We look like we aren't making the mistakes that we used to, and the amount of blocks and headers that Dunk does and his ability to pass the ball out the back, it's huge. And Webster, he ended up stopping a Firmino shot from a quick free kick. He ended up running back. He ended up clearing the ball before Firmino could even shoot it. That was great anticipation, and just all over the pitch, his ability to win the ball back and then to go and pass it to the strikers to lay off a counter-attack. Webster was brilliant, and White as well. His ability to distribute the ball is fantastic. And Sanchez, he is huge in our revitalised defence. 4 clean sheets in a row, and you look at that Liverpool game, he was claiming everything that came into the box. He'd run out, he'd end up catching the ball, and he'd stop Liverpool from ever getting a header onto it. And you look right at the end, that Liverpool had a corner, Sanchez ended up claiming it, and that was huge. I ended up celebrating that like a goal because we knew right at the end that's a huge claim for Sanchez to go and make that. And then for us to end up winning the game, Sanchez has been huge in our success recently in defensive stability. And the goal we scored, it was a team goal. Alzate ended up getting on the end of it, but we won the ball back in midfield. It got passed to Gross. Gross ended up passing it to March. March whipped it in, and as I said, Dan Burn won everything in the air. He did it yet again. He headed it into the 6-yard box, and Alzate and Trossard, both of them attacked the ball, and Alzate got the final touch to go and score the goal. And that was just the team goals that we've been scoring a lot more lately with Potter, and that's been great for us to go and pick up these points. 10 points in our last 4 games. That's lifted us so much further away from the relegation zone compared to just a few weeks ago. However, there is one bad thing about the Liverpool game, and that was the Solly March injury. He could miss the rest of the season. Hopefully he gets well soon. And Burnley, they have lost their last 2 games and they failed to manage a shot on target. But we do need to be careful. We can't just play extremely expansive football, because if we do and let Burnley counter-attack us, they can go in behind and they can hurt us. So we do need to be careful. Otherwise, we'll end up dropping points needlessly and we cannot lose this game. And Burnley, they do have 2 key injury doubts, and that's Barnes and Wood, both ex-Brighton players. Both of them are doubts for this game. Both of them are their main strikers, so that will give a lot less pressure on the defence. And Burnley, their best players are Tarkowski and me, and they throw themselves at everything. They remind me of the Dunk and Duffy partnership we had a couple years ago. They throw their bodies at every single shot they can. And when we played them earlier on in the season, when it was a 0-0 draw, they ended up making so many blocks to shots we had. And that's where you need to be careful, because you know that they will defend well, and that's where we can't constantly try and overload the box and try and cross it in the air, because they will go and win it in the air. They're 2 great aerial defenders. and Pope as well. He's a brilliant keeper, so not only do you have to pass Burnley's centre-backs, you also have to pass Burnley's keeper, and Pope is a fantastic keeper. And my lineup for this game, I think it should be a 3-5-2, and in goal I think it should be Sanchez with a back three of Dunk, Webster and White, and them three have been amazing recently. There is no need to change it. However, the wing-backs, it can't be our normal wing-backs because Veltman is still a doubt for this game. And as I said, March is out for the remainder of the season, and that's such a shame because, in my opinion, he's been our player of the year. But for the wing-backs, I think Barnes should play on the left wing-back. He is going to be key in us trying to get Burnley, because how Burnley play, they try and go long ball, and where they do play in the air, Burn could be key in us trying to go and win them aerial battles. And on the right wing back side, I think it should be Alzate. He ended up playing there versus Liverpool after March got subbed off. So that's why Alzate should play there. And the midfield three, I think it should be Basuma sitting deeper with Gross and Lallana playing further forward. And that's because Alexis McAllister is still a doubt for this game. So that's why I think Lallana should go and play as a 3-8 alongside Gross. And the front two, I think it should be Maupay and Trossard. And there's no need to change them. And Trossard especially, he's impressed me. He's gone a lot more consistent in recent games. And how he's been playing, he's playing a lot more as a free role compared to earlier on in the season. And he can choose to go where he likes. If he needs to, he can drop into midfield to form a midfield four. But if he needs to, he can go out and press the ball. Or he can go out wide if he needs to. And that's where Trossard, he's helping us go and stretch opponents. And Maupay as well. His hold up and link up play has been fantastic in recent games. And my score predictions for this game, I think it will be 1-0 to Brighton, and I think Maupay will score for us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Brighton TV and follow us on Instagram.